guys, BlackPanthaa here, and I'm with a fellow YouTuber, Racer. We're basically going to be talking about Need for Speed Rivals. His link is in the description if you want to check his channel out. He's got some Need for Speed stuff as well, where he talks on topics like I do, but more of them.
Yeah, anyway, what's going on?
I'm good. So we're going to talk about a few things about Rivals, because, well, we're different people, we have different opinions on some things as well. So it's good to have, obviously, other people's opinions. So if you've got your own, make sure to leave them in the comments as well. And
Yeah. So the main thing, I think we have like a couple, 5 or 10 different little bullet points we want to talk about. But the main thing is that we're definitely, the thing that me and him have, I think, the most opinionated stuff on is we're definitely have two sides of the community. Where I'm more in the kind of old school. We're both the same age, but I'm more into the old school where like hot pursuit type era before underground, and you're most obviously into the underground type of stuff. So, and we wanted to kind of have like a civilized discussion about these two sides of the communities that they're always yelling at each other. Where you'll have people be like underground, and then you'll have people like hot pursuit, and where the thing with Need for Speed, it's a franchise. It's not a game per se. It's a series that has multiple games in it. So they kind of have to coexist, and I think it's just that hard thing to do is when you make a game or you spend 5 years dedicated to just that one game in that consistent order, which I'm talking about like Underground through Most Wanted, and then you kind of dump it off with anything that comes after Most Wanted, which was like Pro Street and then all this other stuff. And then recently you had this kind of just mosh posh or whatever of just random stuff. And then I think you can equally say you pissed off both communities completely in Most Wanted. So, yeah. So my feeling on people that like Underground is that I understand. Like I liked Underground a lot because I watched Fast and Furious and I grew up with all that kind of stuff. I mean, my dad's a car junkie, but I'm also really into American Muscle. So my favorite Need for Speed game that kind of incorporated everything really, really well was Carbon, because it had those exotic cars in there, and it had your tuners in there, so you could you could put them because you can put both of them in there. But then after that, you started dumping off, and this weird stuff started occurring. Pro Street was, for it being a track-based game, it was still really good. But then after that, you lost what was there with Black Box. Like it just wasn't there anymore. Like they left, and then you had like Hot Pursuit come in, which is a really, really good sequel to Hot Pursuit 3, even though it was a reboot. Anyone that played the original Hot Pursuit would say, oh yeah, this is shot for shot, it's an amazing game. And then just after Hot Pursuit, you had World, and then what was your feelings on the run? Like do you
the run? It's very mixed. It's nothing compared to the older games, but it's kind of it's this different game. It's not really like any of the others. I don't know, it felt very lost.
When I said it, I think I thought it was. I think I said it in one video. It was like it felt like Underground's bigger, drunker uncle or something like that. I don't know. Like, it just felt very. It felt very like woozy, but it still had that Underground. You could feel like Underground in there. So you can feel in there, but it was just like it was very distorted. Like it was really far away. So like it felt like his big drunk uncle. I don't know, just some retarded. It
felt like they saw how successful, how people were happy with Hot Pursuit and thought, what can we do?
And I think people with Hot Pursuit was very confused that Hot Pursuit was successful because it was the first good Need for Speed game that's been there for a while. Because like, what did you have? You had like Undercover, which was just. Like in my opinion, I didn't like Undercover because like I felt the driving in Undercover was just really weird. Like it just felt it didn't feel like Undercover or it didn't feel like Underground at all. Like the Carbon had this meaty to it, so you could definitely tell the difference between a muscle car and a exotic.
That was what Carbon did very well.
And then, but with Undercover, like everything just felt like this, like was on a center. Yeah, like everything like felt like it was rotating. Like it wasn't. You actually weren't feeling anything. So.
But and when I did prefer the feeling of the cars in Undercover, but only because they actually felt as if they turned rather than
drifted.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously there was only one model for pretty much every car. Yeah. Whereas in Carbon, every car felt different.
And I think that's the main thing that developers they need to learn is that if any developer that's really good at this to me is that I just haven't played a game in a while, like besides Gran Turismo and stuff where each car feels like its own individual thing. Like unless they sit down and hammered like they. It seems like developers recently have just been losing their touch on just the cars themselves and been focusing so much
Yeah,
on the
definitely.
game and not the cars. So
Making it look pretty.
yeah, making it look pretty. And I think with Rivals, we're both excited for it. Like
I am excited for Rivals.
I'm way more excited than most wanted because that's almost when I was like, oh yeah, my Burnout. Like I was a fan of Burnout because I like Burnout, but I think Criterion should stick to Burnout and leave
Yeah,
everything
definitely.
alone
I mean,
because you didn't like with Hot Pursuit, like they made a sequel to Hot Pursuit.
yeah.
And it was a good sequel, but with Most Wanted, I was like, this is Burnout. Like you're just doing Burnout with real cars. Like why isn't this? I thought it was gonna be like
That's what
Hot
I don't
Pursuit or
get, because
something.
as soon as I heard the name, I heard rumors and articles come out saying Most Wanted reboot. I was so
Yeah.
excited, and I
And
couldn't wait. And then when I see the E3 thing, I'm like, no,
What? No.
no,
Yeah, no.
what is this? This is not Most Wanted in any way. And
Yeah.
I just fell for it.
But at the same time, is that when is because you've talked to Mark since that you're a gamer, like we've seen the videos and stuff, and like he's been alluding to some sort of underground s game, and like you're genuinely more excited. Like no, I'm not genuinely. I'm like 10 times more excited about them Ghost Games making some sort of underground game than Criterion because like
oh,
they
please.
yeah, because they have a really nice like a mesh of everyone. Like you have guys from Turn 10, Rockstar. Like they have people that have made racing games before, and they're not Criterion. Even though Criterion like basically has everyone in their company come there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
It's
just
pretty much 70% Criterion, but
Yeah.
they're not leading it, thankfully.
Yeah, thankfully they're in the back.
Like, yeah.
It's like, oh yeah,
just
like here's
doing
your
the
drifting.
stuff.
Like put
Yeah.
the drifting part in there. Yeah, just leave that there. Yeah.
You can have that.
Yeah, you can have the drifting. That's the only thing you can have. No more else.
Or
You like a car
on
drifting?
the billboards, you can have that
Yeah,
as well.
you can have the billboard. Hey, they have jumps in there, but no billboard. Like
Yeah.
jumps are one thing, but billboards, I'm like, I don't want to see some dude's ass cheeks on my billboard. I'm sorry, it's just not a thing. I don't like. Some guy literally took a picture of his ass cheeks and put them on a billboard.
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
God, I swear, oh, it was some, I don't know. Yeah, so so I think. Well, speaking of drifting. We could type at that. Kim Block was just very recently, I think
Yeah.
today, or just very recently, he was introduced as racing advisor into Need for Speed.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on that exactly?
I'm kind of mixed on it because I first heard it and I saw like the press release through because I'm following the EA press.
Yeah,
Twitter.
yeah, right.
And it came through and I was like, okay, makes a bit of sense, I guess, because he likes fast-paced things and doing stunts and whatever, and that's what Need for Speed seems to be with Criterion. But then I saw that he'd left Dirt to do that.
I was like, oh, that's kind of bull.
And it's kind of
He
like...
didn't say, like, the Twitter was so sad. It's like, he didn't
Yeah.
even say bye. I'm like that's some
Yeah.
bull. Like, that's not
But
nice.
I know EA has more money in their pocket. But,
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
but he fits rally racing. He doesn't
Yeah.
really fit Need for... I can see like some things, but he fits rally more than he would Need for Speed.
Yeah, and like the post itself is very confusing. Like, cause is he just like he's an advisor?
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing.
what?
It doesn't. It just says it in the
Like,
title that he's a
they're-
racing advisor, but in the whole thing, it never mentions that. It just says that they're going to be talking about adrenaline and stuff, and they're gonna
Gymkhana
bring their new-
6.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
And there's pretty much like, oh yeah, we're sponsoring it on his car. You
Yeah.
can see Need for Speed Rivals on the car.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. And
Yeah.
that's it. It's like, what else?
Yeah. Well, that and the fact that like Codemasters recently hasn't made a Dirt game in recent, I don't know, like after Dirt 3 and Dirt Showdown, which was Dirt Showdown was definitely a letdown compared to Dirt 3. Is that I don't know like how they could go to Dirt 4 or whatever. Like they could do Dirt 4, but it would have to have this, very I don't know. So, but I think that maybe like if it would be really fun if Kim Block was in there with like you have too much drifting in there. Like if Kim Block would actually go there and be like that's too much drifting. You need more turning and less drifting.
Then I'll be very happy for him. To
Yeah,
stay.
but again, they're very late, and so, like we're less than a month away now.
Yeah,
and,
obviously, but I mean for the future because
Yeah.
it's a multi-year contract.
Right.
So-
So, yeah,
It's looking.
I'm gonna be,
it's
but I'm
50-50.
gonna be very pissed off if like we have like Need for Speed Dirt. I'm like,
Oh
what the fuck
no!
is this?
If they
I'll be
make
like,
a rally game, because they stated that they want Need for Speed to feel the same every year. You don't want to
yeah,
go back
yeah,
to,
right.
shift and then all of a sudden pick up the run. They're completely
So- it doesn't have much in there. But I was saying earlier is that it's better to dip your toes into the water and then to dive head in first and not know how to swim.
Oh yeah, I
So
mean, especially because they're a very new studio. They started the game with like, say, 5 people, 10 people,
right, and
and
they're
they
building.
built the basics. You know how the cars kind of move and so on, and then obviously they got Criterion over time because they were just finishing up the Wii U version of like the
Right,
port
right,
of Most Wanted. But
right.
obviously that didn't take all the team, so obviously they're helping and helping.
Well, yeah, they have like
So
12 people over at Criterion, or
yeah,
16 people, and like they're making something completely different than racing right now.
yeah.
And we're gonna see it next year, but I have a feeling it's gonna be like high octane sports game times three. I don't know what Criterion like
I
Criterion they did Gun, right? Didn't they make another game besides
They
they did
made
like
some FPS. I can't remember exactly the name.
I think it was Gun. I think it was Gun if I'm not
No.
mistaken. Or Black. No, it was Black.
Black. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So maybe they take a crack back at that. But they've been making race games for the past, I think, 8, 9.
Well,
I mean,
I'm
they
thinking
made a lot of games. Like their very first game was not even Burnout. It was some other racing game.
they've got 16 people working on a game. That's not many at all,
Yeah.
really.
But that's like indie size.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
mean.
big
So is it
indie
going to be
size.
Burnout Crash 2?
Oh God, I didn't even play Burnout Crash 2. I didn't even play Burnout Crash. Was that an iOS game?
It was like a PSN, Xbox Live iOS game.
Oh, okay.
It's-
You know what
it's
I
just-
want? You know what I want is I want a if there's a gym that people missed out on, but I didn't realize is that because I didn't get to experience. But Need for Speed Carbon Own the City on the PSP and they could port it over to the Vita is actually Need for Speed Most Wanted on like Need for Speed Most Wanted map just like recoded in the East Coast city. Which I didn't realize. So I actually looked at the map and I was like, wait, hold on a second. This is actually Need for Speed Most Wanted. So
Is it?
because like they
I
have like the
didn't
yeah.
realize.
Yeah, no, it's really fun. It's got very basic in it. It's got sad to say it's got more customization than these two rivals, but
I
still.
played Carbon Own City a while ago,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah,
I had
it's
a
fun.
lot of fun on that. It's
I wish that would come back. I wish them having some sort of like mobile like because they were really into PSP back in the day. They had like Pro Street for the PSP. They had Carbon. They had Most Wanted. I mean, they had Undercover. They had every game. Like every game that came out was and you think the EA were like more money, more games. I guess they probably dipped their toes in with Vita.
But obviously, the
and
Vita's sales aren't really up
yeah,
there yet.
they're
So that's the
picking
main
up.
thing.
They're picking up more
They're
than that. Like
picking up, yeah, but it's still nothing.
it's like it's like the DS now almost because it's taking a really long time for them to get good
Yeah.
games out. Because I bought Killzone Mercenary for my Vita and it is amazing. Like Killzone, it's like
is,
a first person shooter. So hopefully we'll see some sort of a really good racing game come to the game. Gran Turismo, whether it
A
be
lot of people were disappointed because Most Wanted on the Vita, even though it was Most Wanted, it's terrible, but
Yeah.
it was still good because there weren't really many racing games on the platform that was like
Yeah.
that. There were, not looking at it comparing the other Need for Speeds, but looking at it as a game
Yeah.
to play.
Yeah.
It's a good game to do a race, put it away,
yeah.
that sort of thing. That was good.
You
Now
could
they've-
throw it across the room when you get angry. There
Yeah.
you go. Exactly.
But I mean, with Rivals, they're not even going to try because of the sales.
Yeah, and it annoys me. That and they say Frostbite 3 is
And even the
scalability.
Wii U. The scalability of Frostbite. Yeah, and they're not even bringing the Wii U version of it.
You got a fucking commander mode for Battlefield on iOS, but
Yeah.
So we're completely off track now, but we're sort of on track. But that could the whole fucking iOS commander Battlefield stuff. So that can lead us into the next thing, which is network. Now, this is something that every game ever for the next gen is pushing really hard on. Is that having that tablet functionality or that second screen mode and like, what is your how do you are you is this a gimmick like Connect, or do you think there's like some legitimacy to behind it? Because I have my own opinion on it because I've already experienced it before on different games, but you don't.
I'm mixed. It works for some games and it works, well, but for some games it's not at all worth doing. Like some games, say Need for Speed, for example, that works well because you can look at your times and look at your friends.
Right.
I can understand that, but something like I can't remember
The Division,
the Division, I could understand because it's you actually play the game on the tablet.
The Crew, even the Crew, like he says,
Yeah, that some of it is going to be good.
But see, you're kind of contradicting your own prediction, or that word, you know what I mean? Just saying, you're contradicting yourself on your own question or your own answer. Is that it's not really a gimmick because it's got some validation to it. Like I used it on Battle Lock. The only main problem I see with it is that trying the mobile front is a huge front. Trying to get that on all devices, like I have a Nexus 7 because I'm a Google. I'm not an Apple person. I don't like Google. I mean, I don't like Apple. So
Yeah,
I'm just that's
same
just
as
personal
me.
preference. So I have a Google Nexus 7, but I have friends that have the Google Nexus 2012 version. I have the 2013 version because I just bought it, and they can't play. They couldn't download the Battlelog app on their 2012 version or on the 2012 version of the Nexus 7,
I
which I'm
think
like,
that's mainly an Android thing,
yeah,
because
because it's
obviously,
Android. Yeah,
yeah,
Android.
because of the fact that there's so many different versions and so many screen
Yeah.
sizes and just so
Well,
many different things between it. It's mainly just
but
yeah,
at the same time, like I think like if you did this whole thing where like okay, well, we'll cut back on phones and we'll just mainly look at the tablet front. Where for the tablets, it's like there's it's I don't know how much I'm not a really big tablet person, but like 7-inch and 10-inch tablets are pretty much the main thing I thought. And because I'm isn't like I think the Nook is something like around there. So the
yeah.
Nook even the Nook is having a commander mode or whatever. So that's 7-inch tablet. So
Mhm.
I don't know, but like from what I saw from the beta, is that like the app was literally for me just a web version of the page just
But
in app
some
form.
of them, they're kind of advertising tablet and they're not putting phone or something as well.
Yeah. So I think if you
Whereas
just
some
focus at
would
tablet,
fit mobile more, I think, as in phone, because
yeah,
say I don't know, you won't really take a tablet out everywhere with you, whereas you
right,
would your phone. So they
right.
need to kind of think about that a bit more rather than just saying, "Oh, tablet,"
Now if
because
they if oh
the whole like Need for Speed thing, it's supposed to be like, "Oh, so you're outside, you're on the train or something. You're not going to sit there with your tablet."
yeah,
Helping your friends. Whereas on your phone, you just pull it out and quickly help someone.
which they were gonna do on Watch Dogs, I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah, because the Watch Dog was gonna have its own kind of game feature to it.
yeah.
Where the Crew seems like it's gonna be a really good idea.
The
Where
Crew, you can
they were
personalize cars
as your
and something.
cars,
Yeah,
yeah. So now how in depth is it? We don't know.
yeah,
But
that's the only thing.
I mean,
But
from what I experienced with Battlelog on my actual phone is that I wasn't in the train formation, but I was at Taco Bell with a friend or whatever. So we were just like I think we went to go see a movie and we got out and I was like, all right, I'm gonna customize my gun. I know we're getting really off track right now, but I'm using this because it's pretty
yeah,
much made by the same. I don't know who was making the app version because I know Battlelog is like they had a in-house team working on the app, but their in-house team sucks balls because the Android version literally has a second delay of when you're swiping. So I don't know if it's because they were just porting from iOS and they just
yeah.
wanted to have it on there, but whatever. But it worked in a sense. I could see somehow maybe we haven't seen what it looks like on a phone yet for the tablet version, but they wanted this Overwatch mode where you have a map or whatever. You can see what your friends are doing, and apparently, if you open it up on like on a browser or whatever, you can see where everyone's at in the world that your friends are at. So, and how you're supposed to like the network tying into All Drive where you're supposed to jump in, like you're just supposed to automatically be placed into a friend's world, which seems pretty cool.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm excited for it. Like I think the
Yeah,
whole getting rid of that shamble of whatever multiplayer was in Most Wanted, which it wasn't. Getting rid of that and having just single player events with other people
yeah,
is a smart idea. Like
it
GTA
is.
Online is basically doing. Like it's fun going and robbing a liquor store with a friend. Like
Yeah,
it's just a
it
fun
is.
thing to do. So creating those like natural environments with other people is a lot better. So
Mhm. But then again, I would like an option to have the whole lobby
it's all
system.
it can be off.
But
Oh, is
I
there?
mean, I want the lobby system, as in going through a list of
Oh yeah.
lobbies. Because, say, for example, say I'm setting up a stream. I know not many people set up streams, but for that, it's kind of like,
That's not your friends. Yeah, that so other people can join you besides.
yeah,
Yeah, okay, I get what you mean.
because
It's hard.
obviously with the whole thing with I can't add everyone on my
Yeah,
YouTube
right.
channel because the limits of PSN and obviously, and I know it's 1,000 on PS4, but it's still
It's yeah.
when it
You
gets
don't.
full, I
Yeah.
don't want
Yeah.
anyone to feel left out. But
Right.
obviously, I can only have those people in my world, not the people that aren't in my friends list. So it's not really.
And we might want to add that it's only like five. We don't know have an exact number,
Yeah,
but
we think it's 5.
it's 5. But I also remember reading an article very early on about them saying it might be like 8 or a
Yeah,
dozen.
I think 8
I
makes more sense. But
Yeah.
yeah, the more, the merrier. Because
Yeah.
well, not really, because
Well,
cops
see,
are coming after you.
Yeah,
But
yeah, but I see the problem with it coming if you get over a dozen, or if you get a dozen or 8 in there, where a dozen on the PC lobby of Most Wanted because I played on the PC, is that it just was this utter, like, it was just utter chaos trying
I
to do anything
understand,
besides
but-
a race. Because Most Wanted's multiplayer was just flawed entirely at the same time. But if it's still that organic thing where they basically have that bubble where you're like if you get in that circle whatever you join a race, so
yeah,
having it would be awesome. Like it would truly create something where you haven't played. If you play with 5 people, you know, like yeah, okay, like, you have a very small chance of crossing paths. But if there's 8 people in a lobby or a dozen, you're constantly like crossing over paths where you're constantly making new races or whatever. Because that's what they're basically saying is that you have this certain race and a certain so like a cop joins it and then another racer like you cross another racer and my main thing is I'm trying to figure out is that like if you're racing with a like if you're racing and then another if you cross past me and you're another racer, does my 9 players I'm playing with, like in the nine AI I'm driving with and the AI you're driving with, if that like makes like an 18-player race? Because if it does, that would just be crazy if you had that amount
That's
of
what I mean.
cars.
It's really confusing on how that's going to work because obviously it prioritizes your friends over
Right,
everyone else.
kind of like a
So
GTA.
say you're
Yeah.
racing another like racer online, and do they get kicked out the game?
I don't see. That's the thing is that like that having like that's the problem is that that's their main front of the game. Is I think they actually had a Facebook thing on it, but I remember reading, but there was nothing that stuck out to me. Is they had a question about this, but um I think it's you just have 5 players and it might just be friends. Like you're just supposed to be prioritized with friends first. So, I mean, it's kind of sad. Maybe they're not expecting them to actually you actually have 5 friends playing the game at the same time as you. They're probably setting themselves pretty low. I don't know. It seems. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
But
I'd be okay with 5. I mean, it's not a huge number, but
it's still good.
it's still good. Yeah, and
Yeah.
obviously you still got the AI as well that could fill in.
It's
extra
better to
gaps.
set it's better stuff it's better to set up yourself for low expectations than maybe get like pleasantly
Yeah,
surprised
yeah,
because they've already shown off 5 like they showed that off in the IGN video
yeah.
which you have 5 people and
But
that was
that might
5 people
have
in that
been
lobby.
yeah. It might be a setting. It might be I don't
Yeah,
know. The PC specs might
yeah,
limit how many players there are and bandwidth speeds. You know, it could
yeah,
be anything. So
yeah. It definitely is a big factor when you're multing other people into but
yeah,
I think the next thing what was I gonna talk about? Oh yeah, we should talk about is the cars.
yeah.
Like we both made this prediction or this notification. I don't know, not word. Like this assumption, and this we've noticed it is that you have a Koenigsegg, a Venom, a Bugatti Veyron, and I think you have like some like a Lamborghini Aventador.
Yeah,
They're all cops,
yeah.
but
They're all cop cars.
where the hell are the racers? Like
Yeah.
where are they at?
And I mean, yeah, all you've seen really are Ferraris, the Audi R8,
Yeah, the
uh,
Mustang, the like supercharged Mustang or
yeah,
whatever,
Ford GT,
SLS,
and those are all
the
about
C7
200,
racers.
just over 200
Yeah,
miles per hour. Whereas
yeah,
the
C7
cops
Corvette. Yeah,
go
they're
like
like
250,
Yeah,
260. It's like, whoa, wait, what?
no. Like I know what they might be doing with the cops. Where it seems like you okay. You have 2 careers, but in each mainly with the cops that you have those different types of careers. Like you have the sub careers, you have the enforcer, you have the patrol, you have the undercover. So the undercover one seems really like I'm the one the most interested in the
I'm
undercover.
interested in the undercover cop. I just want to know how in depth the undercover feel of it is. Do you actually get to join a race and then go, oh no, wait, I'm a cop,
Yeah,
or is it
I
just
think you
literally
do. I think
sneak
you
up?
do.
I hope you do because that would be really good.
It would be really cool. No,
Really cool.
my what they showed off like in the well you've seen the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh no, I forgot about I forgot about the cop. We forgot one race car, the one career or the one racer. You have that Lamborghini. What it's the starts
Oh,
with the V.
the
Something like Verano or something like that. Some like crazy name.
yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. So you have that. I forgot about that. Yeah.
What's the speed
Maybe.
of that? I can't even remember.
Oh,
It's quite
it's
fast.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's
it
crazy
is
fast.
stupid.
If they only made 3, you might have like the La or whatever the La Ferrari or Le
Yeah.
Ferrari. So you might have like a crazy fast Ferrari or something. I know you have some Porsches. You have the
But
Carreras.
still, the
So
point, we've seen
well, you
more
could they
high-end
could.
cop cars than
Everyone's probably yelling at the screen right now and typing like, "Oh, these race cars." So yeah,
yeah,
just
yeah.
leave it down
Yeah.
below. These were just like these general like, "Oh yeah, I've noticed that the Koenigsegg, the Venom, and
Like we haven't
all
really
these."
gone through all the trailers just before this to check all the cars. It's just
Yeah.
what we can remember from seeing.
Oh no. Yeah, and now that you're saying that, I'm just slowly remembering that you got the Pagani Hydra and the Zonda and the Pagani Hydra are both racers, I think. So you have a good balance.
Yeah.
Like, that our main point was like, or was thinking like, is it balanced or is it
But
like
then again, we've still got the Hennessy Venom. That's stupidly
super
fast,
fast.
in,
Yeah.
especially in Most Wanted. The
Yeah.
DLC card that was faster than everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
And then you're not even thinking about when you're a cop in this game. You have the freaking like shock waves, all this EMPs, these
Yeah.
spike ships. You're just gonna be like this unstoppable monster. Like who the hell granted this? Like where did they get this money from? Like no, don't ever stop in the whole entire game. It's like how the hell does this like review department get the money for Hennessy Venom Cop? Like this is just crazy. Like you just gotta suspend belief completely.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's see other points. Oh yeah, well, speaking of the spike strips and all the stuff, that speed points are actually worse stuff now.
Yes.
Like that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, they were the most useless thing in the Most Wanted.
Yeah. They weren't even there.
They hit a cap, and it's like, what? So
yeah. Well, there's still a
I'm
cap
doing
in this.
now.
There's still a cap in this, but it's still.
But you can still use them for
Yeah,
something. Whereas that, you hit the cap and that's it. I think it was like 40 million if you didn't have DLC, 50 if you did.
Really?
Yeah, and when you hit that cap,
you were done.
What do you do? I mean,
you're done.
You can do races.
Those are worth nothing.
You're doing races for nothing because you've got all the cars unlocked by not even a million. You've probably got all the bloody cars. Yeah. And except the one that you need to race against at a million, obviously. But yeah, it just I hit 50 million quite early on because I think it even glitched on me, and I started getting stupid amounts of things for just going online.
Yeah,
and
that was the problem. Is that even online, like the amount of time you spent online versus one race in Most Wanted, got the same, like got twice as much from Most Wanted, or just playing offline than you did online. Like it literally wanted me. I stopped playing online because I would get less speed points than I would playing just one singular race online.
That was a huge problem because you did a whole speed list which took about half an hour, and you got like
11,000.
24,
yeah.
I think it was. But if you did one race in 2 minutes on single player, you probably got about 12. I think it was 14.
Yeah, 12, 14.
Yeah.
So it discouraged you.
It was stupid, but obviously now with the whole thing being
you spin those.
The single player and multiplayer together, you know, it's going to be.
Yeah. But I think Ghost is setting up a really good job with setting up, like, all right, here we go. The fact that they're getting rid of multiplayer, or they're getting rid of like this whole like, okay, well, you have the multiplayer side and you have the single player side. It's just all mixed together.
Yeah.
On top of that you have the rivalry system where, like, if I'm a cop and you're a racer, you take me out, I lose all my points. I've been trying to, I've been banking, and if I'm not, I go in a garage. I can spin them on these, this new car and stuff. Yeah. Like, it adds this whole. It just does replayability so much in a race game. It's something that has not been there.
That's why I always say whenever I mention Underground 3, that's the main thing: the progression, the grind for earning your favorite car, upgrading it, making it look different to everybody else's and yours.
Yeah, right.
That's what I like.
Which you can do, like, you can it's some aspects of it, like, yeah, it's some aspects of it.
As deep as it was, but it's getting somewhere from what we were at.
Right.
Like, say Hot Pursuit, you didn't really own any of the cars.
Yeah, they were just there. You physically have to buy these with actual speed points. Like, these, it's not cash, but that's the sad. It's sad. That's the first game that's been that if we're gonna discount shift, if we're gonna discount like the shift series, which we kind of do because they're not really like there's not really that much consistency. Like, if the last game that we've actually had to buy things in wasn't it Undercover?
Yeah.
That's how sad it is. Like, it's been since 2009.
I think everyone could agree that it is good that you have to, when you buy things, because you actually have to earn towards something rather than just being like, oh, there you go, found it, SLS parked on the corner. That's the car I love.
God. Yeah. Oh, that too, and the other thing is that there's so much fun to be had. Is that if the multiplier, where if I'm outside for 40 minutes,
so fun.
Yeah.
Just on the run, being scared that someone could take you down any second and lose all your money, but you could, multiply it, double it, triple it, quadruple it, and it's just gonna be so great. And obviously, when you cash that, you're like, right, so I can now put a new sticker on my car to show off. I don't know, and that's one other thing actually. I hope they do kind of some milestones. You get certain stickers to say, oh, I did this. So
I think they'll do that. Like,
they've got to do that. That would be really good.
I imagine like or it could even be the same thing, like where you were saying something earlier where you have these certain progressions where they want you to play the game, beat the game all the way through. But again, if you were to go through and buy, they say that actually we don't know how many, like, there's usually in each game there's like 70 cars there's just 70 cars in there completely. Now with Hot Pursuit, it had like the highest roster of cars that were actually different versions of cars. Where the run was kind of discredited because it just had just the same version of cars, just different like additions. Where
Yeah.
Hot Pursuit had like almost had 90 or 80 cars. Now, if you do the math, if we're doing what we're doing, Hot Pursuit or if they're doing the whole like side, like certain cars are for the cops, certain cars are for the racers, then you're gonna probably looking at 40, 30, maybe probably 40 cars for the racers. If you were to go buy that and buy all those cars, hopefully they send them enough money where like you have to make this conscious decision, like, do I want this Ferrari or do I want this
Yeah,
Porsche?
I
Like I
really
want
miss that.
want
I
yeah
really miss that because I know it's a horrible thing when you buy the wrong car and you realize it, but that's still part of the process. It's
yeah
part of making the right choice before you buy. It's just something that's missing, and I just really like that. It's I don't know. It just adds more to the game, and obviously then you got to work again and earn that other car that you want, or some other car above
yeah
the one you've got, or I just missed it, and I'm really glad they've put it back because I do remember early on. I think I remember them saying that you did go round and find cars again. I remember
yeah.
early on
And they got rid of that.
and they got rid of that straight away. So I'm really
Happy.
thankful that they did that.
Yeah,
That
speed
was
points
probably
is
the main
worth
thing.
stuff.
That
Because when they showed off at at a Gamescom, like they showed off the stuff you have to buy at Gamescom and stuff.
yeah
So it like we don't know how much, like it's vinyls, the upgrades, the I mean, look, you have to buy everything in the game. You have to buy the upgrades for the cars, like the aftermarket upgrades, the cosmetics, the even the freaking the cars themselves, and then the person, like the pursuit tech upgrades and the racer tech upgrades. So even that plays into it.
Mhm.
And I think it's such a good thing. Like that's and I'm hearing, it's been a while since I've heard something about a game and it's got me hyped up about the game, just that certain
yeah.
aspect of it. So
It just adds
yeah.
so much more value to the game. It makes me want to buy
Play the game. Yeah, it makes me want to play the game.
Yeah,
It makes me want to put hours into the game.
exactly.
Like,
Whereas before I
was
got
like,
the game and I felt like I completed it as soon as I bought it.
yeah,
That's how it felt. What's good though about Most Wanted, the last one. Well, it wasn't good. It was just a bit weird. How usually progression is mainly single player focused, but you actually had to unlock cars in multiplayer, whereas
Yeah.
you found them in single player, which I preferred the method of unlocking.
yeah.
But still, it wasn't. I still wanted to buy them.
And there was milestones for paint jobs or whatever. So
Yeah.
maybe they like, I think what I've noticed from Rivals, and we probably should end this fairly soon because we realized it's been going on for 30 minutes. Like that's the thing, is that you've been talking about a game that gets you so hyped up about something that's just been going on and on and on. Is it's like the first time I've played a game for a really long time, or I've talked about a game I really want to play, and it's not like Most Wanted where you jumped in Most Wanted, you played it, and there was nothing that kept you going, like in the game. Like you play the game, like, all right, so if I'm gonna beat this, I get this car, but then I'm done with it. Like you get these speed points so fast. Where we're here, but like, okay, well I got 20,000 or 200,000 points, I can buy this Ferrari. But dang it, this car would look so much better if it just had some stripes or some vinyls or some sort of upgrade or whatever. Okay, maybe I'll just finish this, and before you know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. You're like, how did my car end up like this? Like, how did I start here and up here? Like, it's got the Grand Theft Auto syndrome, where like I have so much to do with so much money. I'm not trying to compare Need for Speed to Grand Theft Auto because it's not gonna be as good.
Yeah, obviously.
But it has that same element to it where you'll be playing the game, like you'll be getting this money, and this is all precursor stuff. Like you played the game, I haven't played the game.
I played a very early build of the game.
Exactly. So, but it's from stuff you just gotta look at, you gotta analyze, and if you really dive deep into it, you'll figure it out. So
look at it this way: when I played it, I was still a bit, I don't really like this that much, and I wasn't gonna buy it at all. But because of like the gameplay that somebody linked to me, mentioned it in another video. They linked me some gameplay that IGN, talking over it, and there was also some other gameplay on Kotaku saying that the PS4 and PC versions look good. Seeing that damage control, but that actually just changed my mind because I saw the story on it and I saw how much more polished it was, because it did feel like and look a bit. It looked like an early build when I played it, and it didn't feel very focused on anything. Like you literally threw you into the world and you drove around and came up to an AI car, pressed L1, raced and won, found another one, did the same, and it just felt like I'm not really wanting to pay for this.
Yeah.
But then
Well,
from seeing the actual gameplay that they showed, like, you know, getting together with online people and doing the races and being a cop and chasing other people, that made me go, right, okay, this is what I was looking at, like wanting to see. You know, it is a step forward, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I think the last thing I want to say is that you know, I understand people's values, opinions, but if you're solely not wanting to buy this game just because it's not Underground 3, like you need to grow up and like just realize that this is if anything, this is a step forward in that direction. It's got that personalization in it. Yeah, it's Hot Pursuit, but dude, it's still a fun game. It's like Hot Pursuit was fun, but this is a fleshed out, meaty version of the game. It's got the stuff in there from, you know, it's got personalization on it. But if you're looking for a race game just for customization, and you don't have $60 to put down a game, but if you have $60 to put down on this game, and you want a really good, you just want some sort of fleshed out game, like this is the game you're looking for.
Yeah,
and
this has been the Need for Speed we wanted for a while, I think, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stepping towards greater things, obviously. I hope they don't go down. But
yeah.
Obviously, this is...
You put two and two together with what you said and where it's going to, and there's all these rumors and where I'm actually excited about Ghost, actually, if they would make an Underground game versus Criterion where they would butcher Most Wanted.
No, please.
And I don't even know, like, if they can call it Underground, like, if they could call it Underground, or if they would just, if it's not going to be called Underground 3. That's the main thing. It would just be called Underground.
I don't know, because Underground has a lot of, you know, nostalgia in it. As soon as they see Need for Speed Underground, they'll be like, oh, bye. But then again, obviously,
if they called it
earlier,
it was
Criterion did.
Yeah, and they just
called it Most Wanted when it was nothing like it, except it had police and cars in it.
The sad thing is that if they called it Underground, is that I think the main thing for selling points for Underground would be customization and probably no cops. Actually, if I would think about it, it had to be a city.
If they did call it Underground, it would be restricted to night racing. Whereas Most Wanted and Carbon, well, not Carbon, but Undercover, they kind of moved away from that, and I think that it was better. But obviously, because of the environments, you can see them in different weather conditions and night and day.
I think the people that like what they want from Underground was particularly, like, I went back and played Underground again, and like, yeah, the racing's fun, but that customization was just amazing.
That's what it is. It's the
maybe they don't even have to do. Yeah, maybe they don't even have to call it Underground. It could just be a completely different game. It could be a step forward.
I don't know.
Just something else. I don't know, but if it has that customization in it, like, if they're starting off, that's the thing people need to understand. They're starting off with Rivals. They're dipping their toes in the water, and if they, you know, people like, oh yeah, well, we're playing it, like, they're welcomely receiving it, then they'll start towards that, or like moving towards that front. So, anyway,
they're getting somewhere, and
yeah,
it's better than what Criterion could have done, really, on their own. Although I don't know where we'd be if it was still Criterion.
Yeah.
That would just be a scary place that we shouldn't really go.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's good. I think we've covered a lot of stuff. Yeah. This is definitely going in a podcast format because this is very long. So anyway, well, thanks for joining us, guys, and I guess stay tuned for further episodes. We'll definitely having some commentary come out after Rivals comes out, and
we're gonna be all over the game.
Oh yeah, I'll have tons of content up on my channel. Again, he's gonna say we're gonna put these up on both of the channels, so you know, vice versa, links to everywhere, every place. So, thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching. Hey guys, just thought I'd make this little end bit here, so make sure to check out Racer's link in the description. He does a lot of Need for Speed content like myself, and obviously if you did enjoy this, make sure to leave it a like, because those likes do help quite a lot. Obviously, let me know your thoughts on these Speed Rivals in the comments below. Do you know, are you going to pick it up now? Do you not enjoy it? Are you not going to enjoy it at all? You know, just let me know what you think of it, and obviously some of the topics that we went over, just discuss those as well. As always, subscribe to me if you're new here, because I do a lot of Need for Speed stuff, and it would be great if you could join us in the Panther army. I'm still thinking about that, don't worry. It sounds awful, then let me know. Anyway, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I am Black Panther. I will see you in the next video, guys. Peace.